G'day folks, Ben from Snows here today, taking you for a walkthrough of this Inspired Overland lightweight rooftop tent.
Hit it.
The most exciting thing about these rooftop tents is that both models weigh in at under 40 kilos. They feature a soft tonneau PVC cover, set up really easily and have enough space inside to pack your sleeping bags and pillows for transit. Before we dive into this product, there is loads more content like this on our YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe and you'll get notified of all of our latest content. Now let's jump in. I have got the Inspired Overland XL version of their lightweight rooftop tent on the top of my vehicle behind me here. There's two versions of this tent, different sizes. We'll run through those differences shortly. Just want to show you that you do get the ladder here that I've got set up next to me included in this little bag here. And inside here, I've also got brackets and things that you use for mounting the tent. We've got another video on how to do that, so check that out. And the most exciting thing about these rooftop tents is that both models weigh in at under 40 kilos. This XL version here is about 39 kilos. The standard version, which is a little bit shorter, 35 kilos, around about 35 kilos. So if you're looking for a rooftop tent to go in a smaller vehicle, maybe an SUV that doesn't weigh as much as most rooftop tents do, check these out. They're a perfect solution. Now, the XL version that I've got on top of my vehicle here, external dimensions from end to end, including the brackets, is about 230 centimeters. We have got the specifics of this on our website if you want to have a look at it. The standard version is about 220 centimeters, so a little bit shorter, suitable for shorter vehicles or people that don't need that extra length. And width-wise, they're both around about 130 centimeters from the outer edge to the outer edge. The standard being slightly narrower than the XL, but once again, check our website for the specifics of those dimensions. And both around about 140 centimeters in height from the top of your roof rail here, this section here, to the very peak where it sets up at the top there. And when it's packed up, when this is folded up, it's about 15 centimeters in height. It tapers from about 12 centimeters at this end up to 15 at the back end there, but you can actually fit sleeping bags and stuff inside and it'll bow out a little bit in the middle. So it's around about 15 centimeters in height from this edge here. Then it's about another 3 centimeters below that where there's a roof rail here that is attached to the rooftop tent, sits on top of your roof rack. So it's 15 centimeters plus an extra 3 from the top of your roof rack. Onto the fabrics that this is made of, and this is where this one differs a little bit. This here is a soft shell fabric, or it's a PVC fabric, a bit like a tonneau cover you would find on a dual cab ute. So this isn't the hard shell like what you've been used to, it's a soft shell. That's what saves weight. It also makes pack up really easily. It does mean you can't stack stuff on top of here, but once again, this is all about saving weight with these tents here. So this is what reduces the weight. Inside, it's a 2000 denier, fully waterproof seam sealed polyester, really durable with a ripstop weave through it. So really durable, and it combines durability and weight really well. And that's all sandwiched in between a lightweight aluminium frame. So this is aluminium here. It's actually, the tent is actually inside the zipper here. So this is a waterproof zipper that runs around the edge for pack down. Bit of a channel here. The channels have got drain bungs in the bottom. So if you do get water in here, it all drains out of this gutter on the side and out through the bottom. And under here, you can see the lightweight measure they've taken to, or the measure they've taken to reduce the weight of the tent. These are aluminium slats as opposed to a full base under here. So there's heaps of these running every sort of 15 to 20 centimeters. And then the tent, or above that, is a waterproof polyester fabric that the tent is actually attached on top of that. You can see I can put my hand down through the side here. So there's plenty of ventilation, or if any water comes down through the side here, it runs out through this channel, but it can also escape out here so it stays dry. There's no for water to get trapped. And then this is attached inside this kind of frame in here. The fabric itself is attached inside the frame. So really good weight saving measure. And they put measures in place inside as well to make sure this is still comfortable to sleep on. Moving on to the features outside the tent, starting at this end, this is the pivoting end here. So protected over here where the driving rain will hit it. Zippers start on the corner here. Moving forward from that, little power access point here. There's one of these on each side. So this is pretty much all mirrored from one side to the other. So you get 2 of those. Moving forward from that, you've got these struts here. Now these are, they're not heavy duty struts. It makes it really easy to pack the tent or pull the tent down. But if they're used in conjunction with these poles here, this creates extra stability. So those struts will hold the tent open by itself, but add these in place for a bit of extra stability. Up the top here, then you've got one of these on each side, and also at the end, we'll show the other one shortly. And this is a door on this side here. So they zip to this corner here. This zips up this way and across this way. And then you've got a polyester mesh panel inside. This was like a nice durable yet fine mesh that's going to keep you protected from most of the mozzies. Never know about midgies. and then that steps inside the tent there. You've got flaps over the top of the zippers there, storm flaps, to keep you nice and weather protected. And then underneath that, you've got these C-clips, I suppose, here. Now these house these upright poles to the right here when you have got it packed up. And then when you've got these set up, they house the ladder. So there's actually 3 points you can put this on, and you can actually move them. There's a little hex nut in there, so you could slide this back and forward a little bit, depending on where you want it set up. You might need to adjust it depending on where your card door is, but you can move the location of those. But you get to 6 of these C-clips, so 3 locations that you can set the ladder up. On each of these upright poles here is a buckle with a male end of a tri-glide buckle, marries up to the female end of the tri-glide buckle on your ladder bag for extra storage at the rear of the tent. We'll show you more on that in our setup video. Coming around to the rear of the tent here, first thing I'll point out is these ladder brackets here. So you've got these C-clips here, they sit inside the tonneau cover here. So you can set your ladder up at the back here if you've got space. You can move these as well if you like, move them side to side. But you do have these boot bags here, which are actually stitched in place here. So they're there to deploy anytime you need them. For transport, or if you're not using them, they have included buckles here, so you can just tuck them up like that and keep them out of the way. But they are really handy for getting in and out of the tent, because you can keep your shoes on. While you climb in, hang your shoes out the side, or hang your feet out the side, sorry, put your shoes in the boot bag here, and it keeps them relatively waterproof. Not completely waterproof, obviously rain's going to get in the top there, but the fabric itself is waterproof, so it'll keep your shoes pretty dry. You can see we've got the awning set up here with these flexible metal poles that hold this panel out to provide a bit of sun protection, a little bit of rain protection in light rain. On top of that, we've got the strap here for setup, and there's also a vent at the very top of the door here, same triangular vent that we've got on each side. There's a stiffener bar at the end of this panel here. That's most relevant when this panel is zipped down. So when you've closed it down, there's plenty of overlap here. The zips run right to the edge and there's overlap here to the mesh panel inside. The stiffener bar sits across the bottom here to stop the fabric from flapping around too much if it's windy. And the vent then becomes relevant too. When you've got this closed down, it still allows high level ventilation inside the tent. Then underneath that panel here, we've got this big mesh panel here too, which can be used as an entrance to the tent or just for ventilation if you like. If you've got the ladder at this end, obviously it's a good place to hop into the tent. And around to the last side of the tent here, as I mentioned, it's mirrored each side. So we've got another doorway here, upright pole, zips up the side. All these doors, by the way, can be rolled open up to the top here. We've got little securing points up here and one up near the peak there, so you can secure these open. You've got your other strut here, vents at the top, and then your power access point here as well. Now there is an elastic strap around here. That's for pack up, to secure all the fabric inside. Check out our video on how to use that. That's the walk around to the outside of the tent. I'm going to open all these doors up to let some light in, crawl inside, and we'll show you the features in there. That's all 3 sides opened up on the rooftop tent now. As you can see, creates heaps of view, heaps of ventilation all the way around. So there's no impeded view at all. Now I'm going to take my shoes off and put them in the boot bag down the side here, which is really convenient. If you've got muddy shoes, you can crawl up here, leave your feet hanging out the side, and just slide your shoes in these bags without getting mud inside. And then I'm nice and clean because I'm going to lie down in here and show you how I fit inside. But before we do that, we'll go through some of the features and dimensions. The mat itself is 123 centimeters, but you've got a bit of play in that. I've actually fit a 10 centimeter, like an X-Ped mega mat, a self-inflating mat inside here, which is a bit wider, not as long, but you can actually fit a 10 centimeter mat in here and pack it up inside as well. But the mat itself that's in here now is about 123 centimeters. And the height at the peak here, 125 centimeters, give or take a little bit. The standard version is going to be a little bit lower. This, if you push into it, goes a little bit more than 125, whatever the case. Plenty of room for someone. I'm 185 centimeters, plenty of room for me to sit upright off center here. So room for 2 people to sit up and play games if you like. And in terms of length, the XL here, the sleeping length, is about 215 centimeters. So the standard is going to be around about 10 centimeters less than that. With regards to the length, the mat itself is about 215 centimeters long. Now you have got the bit of a wedge shape at the end. So if I lie down with my head at the edge of the tent here, and then we have a look down at the base, you can see you've got the wedge shape. There's no way about that. They could add extra brackets and things in there to create more space, but then the weight of the tent would go up. But I'm 185 centimeters, my feet just touch the top. It's a soft top there if I've got my massive size 13 feet sticking upright However, for the most part, I sleep like this. So I've got a good amount of space there for my feet down at the end of the tent. And I actually sleep with my feet bent anyway, so there is plenty of room for my feet there. If I was to put some stuff down at the end there, maybe lift that up a little bit, it would give me even more space. So I would feel quite comfortable at 185 centimeters sleeping in here, and you could probably add an extra almost 5 to 10 centimeters of height in here, and you still sleep pretty comfortably. In regards to what I'm lying on here, this feels really comfortable. I can hear people saying when they talk about the slats underneath here, how it must be so uncomfortable to get a decent night's sleep on these. But I can tell you right now, what I'm sitting on now, I can't feel these slats through it. So you can see these are the slats under here, waterproof fabric, and then there's a 3 centimeter layer of this really dense but lightweight foam. This doesn't have a cover or anything on it. It happens, if you do happen to get condensation or anything, this is going to be really easy to dry. That then creates this really protective layer between the slats underneath and the comfortable elements on top. You get an anti-condensation mat that sits above that. So this is 3 centimeters. This is a centimeter thick anti-condensation mat. And then 3 centimeters of nice, dense, comfortable feeling foam on top of that with a removable cover. So this all keeps this dry and protected from the slats underneath, and this gives us a nice soft place to sleep on. So you've got 7 centimeters between the slats underneath and the top of this, and I have to push pretty hard. I can't really feel the slats underneath here. If I run my hand really firmly, I might be able to make out where they are, but I can't feel it. Now on top of this, I've actually, as I mentioned before, I fit a 10 centimeter thick self-inflating mat in here. Now you can fit sleeping bags and pillows in here with this 7 centimeter mat inside. If you put a 10 centimeter self-inflating mat in here and you were to collapse or suckle the air out of that for pack up, you've got loads of space for more than 2 sleeping bags and pillows in here, because you're reducing that 10 centimeters down to just a few centimeters, and you've got heaps of storage space inside the rooftop tent after that. So lying down here, I cannot feel, honestly cannot feel the slats through this. And when I'm sitting up, I cannot feel the slats either. With a self-inflating mat in here, if you don't have any air in it, you would feel the slats, but you add air in it, lifts it up and makes it nice and comfortable. So those slats, despite maybe not looking comfortable, are an awesome weight-saving measure for these tents. The mats they've got in here make it comfortable to sleep on, but any upgrading mat, you're still going to be comfortable to sleep on as well. Last of all, the features inside the tent. So you get this little removable storage pocket. This is just attached with toggles here. 3 mesh pockets there to keep your essentials at hand. Just up next to that is a PVC reinforced Velcro strap. That's to hang a lantern or a fan if you like. So you've got a sort of up in the corner, out of the way, place to hang a light or a lantern. Moving across the top, you've got this, this is waterproof fabric here as well, and you can see underneath here is the structure of the top. So there are aluminium rails across the top here, and then on the other side of that, we've got that PVC tonneau cover, and then this removable storage pouch here as well. You can just take this off if you like. It just attaches via the straps here. There's 9 pockets, 9 mesh pockets in there that you can keep your essentials in as well. Probably nothing too heavy because it's going to hang down. If it bugs you, take it off altogether. And then moving down to the foot end, you can see in each door here is the inner side of those power access points, one on each side, another one over this side here as well, so that you can have power coming inside your tent. Last feature are the vents. So you've got 3 vents. There's one in each door. So this one here is rolled up in the door here. You've got this one here that you might need to adjust from the outside or sort of reach your hand around here to adjust, but they've each got a kickstand. This little thing here is the kickstand. You can see sticking up there, so you can either sort of close them flat or have them sticking out. I'll just unroll this one a little bit to show you how these vents work. So at the moment, we've got a Velcro patch here, so I can stick that closed if I want to stop ventilation. Or for the most part, it's actually best to have it open like this to allow ventilation. So if I've got all 3 doors closed, I want to have these open to reduce the condensation inside the tent. And then when you go to roll it up, just push this kickstand up underneath there, roll it flat like that, and the vent just rolls away with the door. That is this lightweight rooftop tent from Inspired Overland. As I mentioned, there's 2 sizes. This is the XL, which is perfect for someone of my height, about 185 centimeters, but also comes in a standard. If you've got a smaller vehicle and you don't need the extra sleeping length, then check out the standard. But as I mentioned, the really exciting benefit of these tents is that they're under 40 kilos, which means it's going to suit most roofs for SUV cars, smaller cars. It's also going to reduce the roof loading or the total GVM of larger full drives as well. So I would be more than happy to have one of these on top of my car than something that weighs an awful lot, because I pack a lot of stuff for kids inside the car, so I'm trying to keep my total vehicle weight down. Awesome tents from Inspired Overland. Check them out online at snowies.com.au.